Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction. FCSB XYZ 0, Manchester United 2, and United are qualified automatically to the last 16 of the Europa League, finishing third in the table and with an unbeaten record in the group stage, which is absolutely fantastic. So look, couple of few things to talk about, guys. As always, please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Get them likes up if we can. And get your thoughts into the live chat. And if you're watching back at a later date, get them into the comment section below. But we've got a self-proclaimed chairman with us. He likes to go by chairman, so I suppose who am I to dispute that? But yeah, Chris, how are you finding Manchester United's recent run of form? And obviously it's a good win today, and it's automatic qualification more than anything else. Happy days.
Glad for automatic qualification. Give us a break. Give us more time to train. I like the run of I like the run of form today. I mean, you look at the goal for Diego Dallo, that he's where the wing back should be, on the back post. Like he's advanced. I think we're coming along. I think Højlund made better runs today to try to find the ball and to try.
Not a lot, but he did do it.
He did do it. I mean, it's better. It's not. Yeah. It's not where we need it to be. But I think he's. As watching the game from the first half moving on, like he was still pretty stationary in the middle of the pitch, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh crap! I got to really move a little bit more to try to get the ball." Yeah. So I like that, because I mean it's going to take time. Again, he's still young, so I think we handled the game pretty well. I still think that Altay should be our keeper moving forward, but that's just me.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. I like his position. If you watch Onana, and I'm not saying Onana can't get better, but Onana, like, even if you watch when Toby Collier saved us in last game, Onana is so far next to the near post, or when he moves up, his positioning is so bad as a goalkeeper. Like, he's literally, like, his shoulder is touching the post. And Collier's on the back post, so he doesn't need to be that far over. I just think his positioning is really bad. I think Altay's better. I mean, he's just playing more solid as a goalkeeper. Yeah. I like Toby Collier today. He stayed central.
Yeah,
he stayed central. He kind of
you're knocking off all of the points I've had here. So yeah, happy days. Keep it going.
I like what he did. He stayed central. He wasn't floating. He moved the ball side to side. And if we can have him do that, it frees us up a little bit more.
Let's just talk about this real quick. So Manchester United's potential round of 16 opponents: Real Sociedad, Galatasaray, AZ Alkmaar, or Midtjylland. Not bad.
No.
I suppose Galatasaray is probably the one you would want to avoid more than anything else there.
I would say that and Sociedad. We don't do well against Spanish teams for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and is that a home game for us then?
No, well, it's two double tied. You know what I mean? Home
so
and
it goes
away.
Back to home and home.
Yeah, home and home. Okay. So I would say they're probably, all these four are probably in the last 32 maybe. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but yeah, it's back to last 16 now is back to, just a normal home and away ties, but that's not a bad group of teams to be up against.
No, it's not a bad group of teams. I just don't, from the last I heard that, Galatasaray was looking at Rashford. He wouldn't be able to play against us because he's already played for us in Europa.
That's probably true, yeah. All the more reason to send him there. Anyway, look.
But no, I think we handled the game well. Like, I was a little worried playing in Romania, and it's a little hostile there. It's not the easiest place to play, but I think we handled the game well. I think we came out, couple shaky moments, but at the same time, like I think overall we played well, and we didn't need, and that's saying with not having Ahmad and Garnacho on the pitch.
Yeah,
I think if we played the way we played in the second half and the first half, I think we're easily 5-0 in that game.
Yeah, yeah, and again, is there a concern again, Chris, with not taking your opportunities because we did create a good bit in this game. It has to be said. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But again, I think there's probably the issue of not taking our chances, especially in the first half. You know what I mean? Now the goals are coming. But they're coming from Diogo Dalot and Mainoo again. Two players that are not in your forward line specifically.
Yeah, but Jack, and I don't know if you heard this or read this, but I forget where I heard it, is that coming up through the ranks, Kobe Mainoo actually played as a 10
Yeah.
in the youth teams. So maybe it's maybe we were playing him in the 8 when we just because that's what we needed. And
Yeah.
maybe he does play better at the 10. And maybe he can't. I mean, he played well today playing there.
He did.
I mean, he
Yeah.
had an opportunity. Unlucky, touch was a little high and he wasn't able to finish. But he made runs. He made runs through, and we've seen him do that before.
Yeah.
Like even in the goals that he scored last year, he's inside the box making on the half turn and doing things and scoring goals. So maybe we're looking at him in the wrong way.
Well, Chris, I said it last week. I said I want to see Kobe Mainoo playing the number 10 more. You know what I mean? I think it would suit him more. I think that intricate little, close contact, tight knit passing, I think suits his game a lot more than taking it off the back four and spraying at 70 yards. He doesn't tend to do that an awful lot. And then also you're talking about defensively getting him on getting him in positions where he needs to cover an awful lot of ground. He's not the greatest at opening up his legs and covering ground. So I think that number 10 is really well suited to him.
I think so too, because he's very good in combination play.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I like what Bruno did today. I like the way he played. I think he's going to get knocked for it a little bit because people want him to make the spectacular play and everything like that. But I think he did really well next to Toby Collier playing there and everything like that. Like I think we played well today. I was very happy with what I saw today and like a well-rounded team win. Like
yeah,
I think the one player that I didn't like and I'm just nitpicking completely is Tyrone Malacia has no place.
Oh yeah, but right, and now I know you weren't watching the live, okay?
Yeah.
And I did say it in the first half. I said he was nothing other than a decoy in the first half, and I think it was partially was what Ruben Amorim wanted out of him was. You stay as wide as you possibly can and as high as you possibly can. And what it was doing was it was pinning FCSB back a little bit on that side. And what it was allowing then, it was allowing Kobe Mainoo to drop out into the pocket in between and Martinez to come right up the field and put an extra man, going forward. And I think we got a lot of joy out of it. So I think he maybe did have a part to play in that.
No, and I get it, but I mean, but if you watch especially when Amarin was at Sporting and they beat Man City 4-1. I think it was 4-1. That's what his wingbacks do. They play so far wide. And this is what I got last week is when Garnacho plays in the 10, he drifts too far wide, so you don't get that opportunity for Martinez to step up in there because Garnacho's got to learn to play more where Mainoo plays, so that way the wingback can overlap and he can make that run at that point. And that's where you stretch it, and then you get people that can drop in the pockets. And I think Garnacho can. I don't want to sell him. Don't, by all means. I think it's a lot of cannon fodder. I think it's a lot of, just keeping United in the news at that point. Because I don't think no one's gonna meet his value, at this point.
I hope so. I hope not.
I mean, but all said and done, if you get, I think last I read is they valued him at £80 million. I mean, let's be honest. If you get £80 million for him, it's just
you won't get 80 million. No, you won't.
Well,
that's what I reckon United to be happy with 60. To be honest with you.
Well, but at the same time, it's just like everybody's up in arms about John Duran and Villa, and they sold him. That big sale that. But if you get that kind of money, you got to sell him.
Oh yeah, you do. Well, that's what I mentioned again, and I mentioned it in the live. We were talking about him, and I said, I don't think United specifically want to sell him, But if somebody, and I think the figure was £60 million is kind of what United value him at. And I think if that valuation is met by somebody, I do think United will go, okay. You know what I mean? I do think they will at least open negotiations with whatever club is looking to do it.
I thought I read that Ineos, because I think Chelsea was sniffing again, and I think they raised the valuation for Chelsea to 80 million just because it's Chelsea.
Oh, right. Well, that would 100% be the right thing to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. I mean, it's, you don't want them to go there and you say, well, if you give me 80 million, okay, fine, by
Yeah.
all means. But at the same time, I liked the game today. I liked everything. And again, I mean, we had Mazraoui playing at a right-sided center back.
Well, let me put this one to you, so, because we're talking about the defence. United are the only team in the Europa League to go unbeaten in the group stage. We've also kept we've kept back-to-back clean sheets now, and the previous 14 games we didn't keep one. We have been quite complimentary of the defence, but by the looks of things, now again, we're not getting too fucking carried away here by any stretch. You know what I mean? But we're seeing the skeleton of maybe a good defensive team.
Yes.
Like I'm liking De Ligt. I'm liking Martinez. Seems to have come out of that slump that he was in after he came back from injury. Every time Maguire plays in the back three, he plays well. Yoro just looks to be coming on leaps and bounds every time he plays. Was really good again tonight. Signs are there, I suppose.
No, the signs are there, and it's building blocks. I mean, I like it. Now, your first comment about we're the only unbeaten team, I think that's because Lazio put out their women's team to play today, and they so that's a little misleading. But at the same time, I agree with you. I think De Ligt has been playing really well. Maguire's been playing excellent. Martinez has come on. If you play with those three, that's really good. And then you have Mazraoui, you have Euro. That's what, now he's only 19. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's for real. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
And I think that's the building blocks that you need. And I think you're going to need those five. Because playing as many games as we want to play, it's a lot. So I like what I see out of that. I like what I mean, I'll be honest, I like what I see out of our team. We just have to be more consistent in how we play.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's the issue. And we didn't do Amber any favors or any, we didn't do him any justice, because he kind of got thrown in the mixer probably at the very worst time that you can as a manager, in early December going into January, where all the games are compressed and you're just playing a lot of games. So you don't have that time. There's no international break to get everybody acclimated.
Exactly. But I think in a way that will be beneficial to him once, we get into maybe the next season where, he's got 6 months to figure out who he can trust. If you're getting him in the summer, he's got 6 weeks to work with players rather than 8 months before the season starts,
I mean, this is what I said. I said it to a lot of my friends, and because they always give me a little bit of stick about Amarin and where we're at in the table and everything like that. And I'm like, I'm glad we got him when we got him, because now going into summer, he doesn't have to evaluate anybody. Exactly. He knows exactly what he has.
Yeah, exactly.
And he knows exactly what he needs, and I love the way he's handled Rashford. I mean, I can't applaud him enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because he rips him, but at the same time, he says it with a smile.
He's telling him, this is what I want from you, and you're not giving it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't get any clearer than that.
But like I think in the last press conference, someone asked him about it, and he's like, well, he's not doing what I want, but he has all the talent to be what we need, but he's just not, and he's got a smile on his face when he does it. Yeah. And it's just like, it's like the biggest backhanded compliment you could have.
And what it also says to other players is, I have to fucking perform. And if I don't perform, and if I don't live my life the right way, this guy is going to get rid of me. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
And it's the way it should be.
I mean, I'll be honest, like, I don't, like, everybody has the memes that, we got a new left wing back, and now Luke Shaw's healthy. But I mean, I don't think Luke Shaw sniffs the team for a while.
Yeah, well, he needs to put time in on the training ground and get his fitness up and prove that he can do it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, if he's not gonna, I'm not saying he's not gonna perform, but Amarin's gonna put him through the ringer to make sure that he's not gonna come on for 20 minutes and be like, "Oh, I got hurt again."
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get through some of the comments here, see what people are saying. Let's have a look here. What have we got? We'll scroll back a bit. Roll on now. Only team give us a game is Spurs. Good thing is no team drops down from UFC. Well, look. Not that no team will give us a game in the Europa League. That's a little bit naive now, because like if you look at some of the teams that are in there, let's look at the teams that have qualified. Lazio will give you a game. Bilbao will give you a fucking game. Spurs will give you a game. Eintracht will give you a game. What else? As you go down along, Ajax will give you a game. Galatasaray, Roma, Porto, even. All of these teams are all teams that, we're not prime Real Madrid going into the last stages of, the Europa League. We're Man United in 14th in the Premier League. So we do have to take that into consideration as well. No one attacks the crosses, says Wheelie. They stay away from the ball. Johnny says Highland is quite easily the worst striker in the Prem.
Wow.
That's
harsh.
Oh, yeah, that is harsh. That's a bit harsh. Carrero says, we spent money on the wrong spot. Dylan says, we desperately need a striker, but Dorgu was a signing we need. Yeah, I do agree, just for balance more than anything else within the team. Let's see. What else have we got? Lads are talking between themselves there. Desi is in. He says, nothing spectacular about that performance. Remember the opposition, lads. Clean sheet is good. Probably lucky considering the long range strike from the striker in the second half. On to the next one. I thought you would be more optimistic about that one, Desi. I mean, I thought it was a good game. Like, considering I was the one that was annoyed the last day. We kind of I'd say people are watching, say them fuckers are in a group chat there now going, which one will I be negative tonight and you be positive? But that's actually not how it works. We just go live and see what happens. D says, look folks, it's no mystery that Amram is the man for the job. It's no coincidence that he was unbeaten across the board at Sporting this season, then he leaves and they're losing everything. And we're here, and he's starting to get team slowly, bit by bit, getting them to buy into his vision. Absolutely. Well, I think that's one thing we could say, Chris, is that, it does look like these players, this set of players are starting to come on board a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And I mean, and again, you look at the starting 11 from the first half. There's no Garnacho, there's no Ahmad, there's no Ugarte, there's no Maguire.
Yep.
I mean, Ericsson's playing, Malacia is out there, and everything like that. So, I mean, even with a B-ish squad, not the top squad, I mean, we handled business, and everything like that. And
we're starting to see some. Would I be right in saying this? We're starting to see a little bit of quality in depth as well, where, Ruben Amorim is clearly, and again, I just want to reiterate, we are fucking miles off it still. Yes. You know what I mean? But we're seeing the for people like us who watch every second of every single game, you're seeing a little bit of, the whole squad buying into it, where players are coming off the bench and they're still able to do the job that players coming off the pitch are able to do.
Yep. And I mean, let's look at Mainoo's goal. How many times have you seen Garnacho play that ball across like that? It hasn't been, that's just what we've been asking for. It's like, you got to make those crosses, you got to make those runs. And, the first thing is you make the cross. The second thing is everybody gets used to those crosses coming in, so you make the necessary runs.
Yeah.
It's, it's baby steps. It doesn't all come in one shot. We wish it did, but, I mean, and even in the first half, we played some early balls into Hoyland. He had the one header that was the ball was a little too tall.
Yeah, he was stretching for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but those are balls that we weren't playing before.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think we still missed a couple, though, to be honest with you. But, the one thing is the one thing I can nitpick is I think we lack vision with the final ball. Like playing the ball, like seeing where Hoyland is sometimes and going, I can make an early cross right behind that defender and you just put it right on his back shoulder, so maybe Hoyland can nip it, and you keep it away from the goalkeeper, but you put it right behind the defender. I mean, it's just, but those are, I'm nitpicking at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's finish on this then, Chris. Manchester United's next 5 games: Crystal Palace at home, Leicester at home, Spurs away, Everton away, and Ipswich at home. We're going into a run of games now that you would. I'm not even going to say it. I'm actually not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it, Jack.
All right, okay, fuck's sake, I have to say it. You would expect Manchester United to do quite well in the upcoming game. Now, look, Crystal Palace is never an easy game. Leicester had a good win on the weekend. Spurs are just all over the shop. You don't know what to expect with them. Everton seemed a little bit rejuvenated under David Moyes, and Ipswich, can show up on the off chance. But surely they're games now that United are licking their lips after a couple of clean sheets, some wins going right. Let's start building momentum now.
I think so, because especially since we're playing at home the next 2 games, we have Palace and Palace and Leicester at home.
And Leicester, yeah.
So I expect 6 points. I think that I think we can handle. Palace is a dangerous team.
Sorry, lads. I'm sorry, lads. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry.
Oh yeah,
Chris made me do it. Chris made him do it. Blame him.
The chairman will take. I'll take full responsibility. Exactly. But I think that Palace is a tough team. But if we play the way we did today, I think we can get a win.
I agree.
And I'm not saying we can still play better.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's it. The Leicester game, they're all over the shop now. Spurs. The only thing I worry about Spurs is the possibility of new manager bounce.
Maybe.
That's the one thing that I think.
Are we playing them before the semi-final that they have to play?
That I don't know. You'd have to look that one up. I don't. Well,
I reckon if he doesn't get through that, he's gone. I reckon Daniel Levy is not going to sack another manager going into a cup game like he done with Jose. He just can't. You know what I mean?
No, but that's the one thing is, if they're still in the cup, if they're in the cup chances, then I don't think he gets the sack. But that's the one game I worry about, is that game, because but again, like I was listening to a podcast, it's like, even if they sack Ange, who are they going to get?
Was it Mainoo podcast? No,
I haven't listened to that one yet. I apologize. I've been meaning to.
It's okay.
No. I've been meaning to. I want to listen to that. I just haven't had the opportunity, but I will tonight, though. I promise. All right, no matter. I will. Yeah. Right. I'm excited to. It looks like a good one. So
yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah. Some good chats.
Are you gonna do that? Is that a weekly thing, or is that a?
Yeah, so we're planning to do it every Monday night, recorded live in a studio. Released then every Tuesday. So similar to like the other United podcast, like Talk of the Devils and stuff. It's once a week or whatever the case may be. But we obviously recorded with cameras as well, and then we've got the YouTube channel and upload it there as well.
Oh, nice. So I'll put that on the schedule. But I think we have. Let's be positive for a second. So there's next 4 games. 12 points. Let's on the absolute positive. Then there's light at the end of the tunnel at that point.
Yeah.
But even if we end up with 9 points, let's say we drop one in there or something, we drop some points, because everybody drops points. That happens.
Yep.
9 points. We have to get. This has to be. I think Amaranth has to know that he needs to get at least 9 points out of the next 4 games.
Yeah. And again, look, I think it's progression. We just want to continue to see progression. Now, we've seen improvements in performances. Now, let's back that up with 3 points week after week. You know what I mean?
And everybody complains about the Brighton game, but let's be honest. Brighton's not a slouch team. And as much as everybody wants to write them off or say this and say that, they have an up-and-coming manager. They have young players. They have
absolutely
young, hungry players, and I think that's it's like Bournemouth. Everybody gives slack. Oh, you lost to Bournemouth. They're what?
Bournemouth are good.
Yeah. You don't mess around with them.
I think people just go with stadium size. Oh, they can only fit 10,000 in their stadium. You should be beating them. Yeah, all right.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Maybe after this season, we'll go back to beating them because they'll probably sell everybody off and make money. You know what I mean? But I mean, they have the Clivers, they have the Wissa, they have Mbueno and everything like that. Maybe those guys go in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and then they have to rebuild. That's the type of club they are compared to where we are, who we are. So, 100%. But I mean, I think I think 9 points is vital.
Yeah, I agree. Right, I think we'll leave it there, Chris.
You got it, Jack.
And we'll see you, of course, on the weekend, I presume.
What do we play at 9? What time? Early?
Our time, I think it's, let me just double check for anybody that's wondering. Sunday is at 2 o'clock our time, so the early kickoff.
Okay, 9 for me then. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Right, I'll chat to you the weekend, Chris. Thanks again as always. Talk to you, man. Thanks everybody for watching as well, guys. Please do smash a like in the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. United are automatically qualified for the last 16 of the Europa League. No last 32s for us, thanks be to God. Let's get them players onto the training ground. I'll be back again, what day is today? Thursday. We'll have a match, should have a match preview to do tomorrow. I'll try to get that done. Apologies about missing the one for this game as well, by the way. I meant to say that earlier. But of course then we will be back for the watch along on Sunday as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great evening. United are through. Thanks be to God. See you on the weekend. Take it easy.